Maurice M. Glazer and Glazer Financial Network presents Tax Planning and Living Abroad. To see more videos or to find out more information, please go to www.glazerfinancial.com or call 888-553-7059.
Expenses that apply for housing exclusion can't be, marble countertops. Sorry, yeah. Sorry. But anyway, when you start to be in business down here and you're going to be out of the U.S. for 330 days, it's time to sit down and decide how you're going to run the business and where you're going to get your money from. And by the way, you can get your money from a U.S. account. Like I can come down here, my son can send me a check from our bank in the U.S. and I'd be able to get the exclusion. These are non-qualified. And any of this stuff, Mark, do you have these slides on the disc?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So this is all on the disc. If you don't want to go looking for it, you can always email me on it.
Or, just so you know, these guys, I took this out of your book. This
Okay.
on pension, IRA, self-directed.
Okay.
That's what we just passed out. Will you please talk a little about this before you
Yeah.
start?
When it comes to retirement plans in the U.S., Canada is a lot more restrictive because it's a smaller deal. If you have retirement plan money or IRA money, there are several different ways that you can invest in real estate. Now, you can't invest in your personal home. I mean, you can't use your retirement money and then build a house and live in it out of your retirement fund. But Jacob can build a house and rent it to Greg. And Greg can build a house and rent it to you. Okay?
As long as you don't claim it as your,
No, you're just, right. There's ways to do it. You just got to think about it. There's also, if you don't use a self-directed IRA and you use the qualified plan, then you can borrow up to $50,000 out of your retirement plan. And if you have a spouse or a significant other, you can borrow up to 100 if you have two employees and whatever. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll roll it into a profit sharing plan and then borrow the money out as the down payment, right? And just buy into my personal name.
Where I was question is there any kind of IRA that you can set up here in Mexico or retirement plan or whatever?
No, you can have, the self-directed IRA is and I really think that eventually this is going to be hit on pretty big by the IRS. The self-directed IRA that they talk about now is you set up a Nevis LLC or you set up a Delaware or a Texas LLC and you hire a trust company to hold the LLC's name and you roll your money over into that LLC and let that LLC, limited liability company, own the real estate. Okay? And the IRS in October of 2008 put out a Treasury Department directive to stop all of that in regards to 401k plans because people were buying businesses. I think that anybody who plans on doing more than just one piece of property for rental or whatever has a problem because they might consider that to be a business. I have realtors who get really, I got a guy in Hawaii who I told him I couldn't do his work anymore. He was flipping properties. I said, you're in the business of real estate and you're using your self-directed LLC. You just keep flipping them and you're making great money, but you're going to get nailed. I mean, that's business. That's not an investment. We got to be real careful when we're doing the planning.
I'm looking at this and talking about defined contribution plans. And this is an acceptable between $50,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 a year. Is that from a business or is that, is there a business contributing to the,
Yes.
to the plan or is it personal?
No, it's business.
It's business. Okay.
But the thing about our profit sharing plan and our defined benefit plan, our trust at the present time does not exclude foreign property as an investment. Does not exclude. So if you, instead of doing the self-directed IRA, if you had a 401k or you had a defined benefit plan, you could invest directly in the foreign property without going to that second section. Okay?
Does it not have to be IRS approved?
Our stuff is,
All right, so
We do
basically, if I
master
want to buy
sales.
5 units here and rent them out and use IRA, my retirement money, as the investment vehicle, it doesn't need to be approved.
no, because my trust purposely does not say foreign property is excluded. That's one of the problems with the IRA, because all those custodians can't keep track of that. So they just exclude it. We don't exclude it in our trust, so it allows you to buy it. Now, if you bought 5 units, you might have unrelated business income tax. You might, if you use credit, you might have unrelated debt income tax. So there's issues. We just need to look at it. That's why I say planning is everything. You know, I have clients with $2 million in their IRAs. I have one, he's out in California, he's gonna buy a big shopping center in his IRA. He's got a ton of money there. And so when I figured it out, if you look at my example, I don't know if that's the long one or the short one. I have it, just because you're paying more tax doesn't mean you're not gonna make money. So, you know, what you gotta do is work it out. You know, numbers don't, cheaters lie, but, you know, numbers don't. If you work it out,
Contributed capital to the defined contribution plan, defined benefit plan, is that pre-tax or after?
take that.
Really?
Yeah.
So the company makes $1 million a year and contributes $200,000 to a plan.
But you're too young, you have to have graduate.
What do you mean?
I think he's older than you.
Just a year.
Are you?
Yeah. But I have to.
You just looked at
Long story. Why do I have to hire him? I can't do it myself?
No, you can't, well, not at your age.
Why? How old do you have to be?
Well, if you have a defined benefit, you can put away maybe 55, 60,000 or 401k, cash balance, and maybe 70.
But how old is it? I thought it's the corporation that's established.
So if I had a defined benefit plan, I could put away 100,000, maybe 150,000.
It's going to start at 55 years old.
No, you can get 45. 45, the numbers are unbelievable what we can do. Okay? Is he catching everything?
They might want to sit with you
Okay.
later on,
Yeah.
personal basis.
Okay, so we discussed this, and everybody has their own situation, so we need you to sit down and go through it. Make plans, what do we want to do? How do we want to do it? We can't do a 1031 exchange between the U.S. and a foreign property. But I have clients all the time that go from Costa Rica to Panama, or Mexico to Panama or Costa Rica, so those are good 1031 exchanges.
Are there ways though to minimize that tax that we pay after the sale of the property to then take that?
Right now, there is, I mean, after December 31st, I think we're gonna be a little bit of troubles unless we freeze some of this stuff. That's why planning, this is the year to do the planning. And everybody do a lot of praying, that's from my standpoint.
This is the year to get the Senate back.
Yeah. The other thing is, Mexico has a law, and I have to check with one of my attorneys. Mexico has a law that states that if you have your investments in a U.S. or any pension plan, in any deferred pension plan, then they will exempt from ordinary income tax and from capital gain. I don't know if it's changed. They've been changing the law as we've gone along here. So if you had it in a deferred income account, then you could defer it in Mexico also. I just have to check to see if it had been changed back.
Does that include IRAs?
Yes. Anything deferred. If it's not taxable in the U.S.
Does it matter how you hold title, if you hold title in a trust and the IRA is the beneficiary of that, does it matter, or do you?
No.
Wouldn't matter.
Then, of course, the resident test. Typically, got to be out of the country 330 days. Okay? And it could be over a fiscal year, it doesn't have to be a calendar year. So I've saved a lot of people money would come down on a one-time deal. Adam comes down, sells some big contracts, potentially, you stay here for 330 days between now and next May or whatever, then we could defer all that income, okay, if you stay here, except for 30 days. I mean, that's why planning is so important. There's things we can do.
Or what kind of proof is required that you've been outside the country for X amount of time?
Your
passport stamp?
Yeah. But sometimes you don't have to do it permanently. Sometimes you want to just do it for a year. You know, everybody has their own little reasoning.
It's got to be a calendar year, it can't be
No,
like
it's a
March
fiscal
to
year.
March. It's
No,
got-
it could be March to March. Could be from now to whatever. Dogs you get over 12 months.
Okay.
And of course, the other way is if you come down here and you get your FM3 and get your FM2 and, you know, whatever. I would not recommend, but if you want the exit tax law, I would not recommend giving up your citizenship. For anybody who's over 65 or close to getting into Medicare Social Security, I think that that's a foolish thing to do, because if you don't vote, because you don't have your citizenship, you don't vote, and you got your Medicare and your Social Security check coming to Laredo or wherever, what do you think our honorable politicians would do for the people who don't vote, who've given up their citizenship? They're going to say the first people who are going to be out are the people who are taking their Social Security and no longer voting. No more Medicare, no more Social Security. The second people are going to be the people that are living permanently outside of the United States. I don't trust that. I grew up in Chicago. I'm not necessarily proud of it, but I grew up in Chicago. I was actually assistant precinct manager in the Democratic Party for my former brother-in-law, who was a big political contributor. And I've lived in Texas now for over 30 years. So I know the system. I know what they think. I told everybody when this change happened and the Congress got separated or got together with the presidency, I knew what was going to happen in the U.S. And by the way, you can take a portion of the foreign income credit, so you can have a portion. I kept my back here the whole time. There was this voluntary disclosure situation where we had until last October 15th to submit anything if you had a foreign account or a foreign corporation, whatever. I still believe that if you haven't reported foreign accounts or whatever, is a friendly, soft disclosure of the information to the IRS. I have one case where the fella failed to disclose it and failed to amend his tax returns, and it's going to be a real messy thing. I'm ready to turn him over to my big dog tax attorney. So, because I told him, got to report. It's important.
Thanks for watching. To find out more information on what you just saw, or if you have any other tax or lifestyle planning questions, please give Maury a call at 888-553-7059 or email Maury at mglazer@glazerfinancial.com. To see more videos and to see our schedule of upcoming webinars, please visit our website at www.glazerfinancial.com. As always, we offer complimentary consultations with a 3-year tax review.